Are you struggling with something in life and looking for ways to heal? My name is Santosha, and my goal is to help you find those ways. Welcome to my podcast, Become the Healer. Together we'll explore an integrated healing approach and journey through ancient healing modalities, mindset shifts, scientific evidence, inspiring stories, and practical tips, empowering us to heal our lives, get unstuck from toxic patterns, and expand consciousness, raising our energetic vibration and healing the planet from within. Hello and welcome to another episode of my Become the Healer podcast. My name is Santosha, and I am super excited you are here with me today because we're going through healing intergenerational trauma. It really takes a deeper level to heal the layers and complexities that's involved with intergenerational trauma. So I want to share with you a little bit about what that looks like, and then we'll go through a technique. But before we get started, it's important to mention that this is a 3-part episode. In the first episode, I talk about what intergenerational trauma is. In the second episode, we're talking with Penny, who is living in a First Nations community in Canada, and she's a healing facilitator and gives us some of her amazing wisdom. So if you haven't listened to the first 2 episodes, please go and do that now and then come back to this one. It's important to have the knowledge about what intergenerational trauma is before we go into the healing, right? It'll make a huge difference to your mind. The mindset shifts episodes are those episodes that really make a huge difference to developing your ability as a healer, to become the healer of your life. Okay, so the layers and complexities of intergenerational trauma often overwhelms people. And the reason for this is because people expect instant healing. It's difficult, hard and raw, really deep hurt and pain. And of course, it's natural to want that instant healing, right? Instant healing. But it's not possible. Imagine yourself stuck in a tar pit, and there's a lot of other people stuck in this tar pit with you. You try and climb out of the tar pit. It's very difficult. Firstly, because the tar is sticky and holding you back, right? Someone might give you a ladder and you'll slip on the ladder, or maybe there's a rope and you can't hold the rope. You try and get out, but it's really difficult. But what's more is in that tar pit, other people who are there are going to try and hold you back. So it takes a lot of gumption, a lot of determination, and a lot of strength to get out of that tar pit, to get out of and heal intergenerational trauma. Now, it really sucks that we have it. I believe we all have it. I had intergenerational trauma that I identified in my family lineage, and it made a huge difference to how I feel in life to have worked with it and healed it. But it wasn't instant. It was probably about, now I don't know, I should look on my blog because I blogged about this journey. How many years ago with this? More than 6 years ago now, that I was trying to heal the patterns of narcissism in my family, the energetic, not my family, the narcissistic pattern of my family within myself. I think that's an important thing to point out. I'm only focused on healing myself because it takes my life to the next level. I can't help others this way, right? They like their own patterns. Everyone likes their own patterns. We can become the healer for other people, but those people often stuck in those patterns, recreating what we've healed. Mikao Usui, the founder of Reiki, found the exact same thing. He did so many healings for people, for everyone, and he found that they would return and have the same problems. So then he designed a training program, right? to help people understand how to do it themselves. It's an integrated healing approach. It goes on so many different levels. It's difficult to explain to people how they can go about this. And intergenerational trauma is one of those deeper issues. You really got to be dedicated. Now, in future podcasts, I would like to talk to some of you, some of my listeners who have transformed their life, transformed and healed intergenerational trauma, and taken their life to the next level, and how they did it. I'm going to find those people somewhere around the world. I will go to them in person or do it online, but I want to share with you those stories of inspiration so you know it's possible. You can heal. Yeah, absolutely you can. No doubt in my mind, anything you can heal. That's the way. You just got to know how. You got to find the tools and techniques, right? That's all it is. So here we are. My Become the Healer podcast. I'm sharing with you all the tools and techniques that I've learned so you can take your life to the next level. Oh, okay. So intergenerational trauma is complex. And you need to be aware of that before you start on this healing journey. You need to be persistent, and they will try and drag you down again, and you will get distracted and off the path. Then put yourself back on the journey and keep going. It will make a difference. Believe me, it makes a huge difference. Okay, so the complexities. Let's just briefly explore the complexities so you have an understanding. If you've listened to my podcast on the personal template and went along and did the exercise with me, then you would have an understanding of what your personal template looks like. It's just a bunch of patterns that you've gained throughout your childhood. And if you turn the light on, you can see those patterns. If you haven't listened to that podcast on the personal template, please go and listen to it. It's a mindset shift with a hands-on activity that I'm going to guide you through so you can see what you're stuck in. You can see this personal template for living that you currently have. When you can see it, you can then change it. Okay, so go do that podcast. I tell you, this podcast is not just a listening experience, it's a training program. So get used to that when you come to this podcast. It's not just for listening. I want you actively involved, okay? I want you on this journey with me, please. What would be the purpose of doing this if everyone's just going to sit on the couch and listen to me? Okay, so the personal template, the complexities of intergenerational trauma. Imagine just for a moment, what would it have been like to been in the German war, to been in Holland when the Nazis were coming through? My grandparents were there. My grandparents are from Holland, from the Netherlands, and they told me stories, here and there, very few, but they told some stories about what it was like. The Nazi army, German soldiers would come through and they'd look for men to conscript in the army, to fight for them, to kill people for them. My grandfather had to hide under the floorboards so he wouldn't be found and conscripted. They had to smuggle cheese in because all the good food was given to the soldiers, right? And of course, some of their friends were Jews, and they didn't go into that part, I can tell you. Like, you just know the atrocities that happened during those times, right? What would your ancestors, just as an example, if you can imagine for a minute, what would they have felt and experienced? What was their emotions at the time? War, fear, paranoia. You constantly have to be on edge and worried, right? And you have to be in survival mode where you're getting your next food from. How can you feed your family? Life was uncertain, confusion. Like, what other feelings and emotions would your ancestors have had? And of course, they couldn't resolve it then. They were in survival mode, right? They were in war times. So when they have children, they pass this pattern down. It's a mindset pattern. You know, how to be frivolous, right? How to be careful, how to, hide parts of your life, or how to survive. Some of those patterns would have been passed down to everyday living, to nowadays living. You had to be grateful for what you had. You had to be thankful for the breadcrumb that you had. There was no mindset of expansion and changing your reality and living a flourishing life. Not possible. Not during war times. So the mindset and the emotions that were passed down, you get an idea of it, right? Now, we have a lot of generations, a lot of ancestors. When you do the math, and I mentioned this in my other podcast, those of you to remember, how many ancestors do you have over 10 generations? Do you remember? You probably wrote it down in your book. Go have a look at it. The idea is that you journal everything you're going through in the podcast, right? So you should have written it down by now. 1,024 ancestors over 10 years. How many of those ancestors have experienced trauma? A lot, probably a lot, right? So the complexities that you're dealing with are vast, right? How do we deal with this? Well, there's a few different ways to tackle that, and it's part of the integrated healing process that I teach. First is through your thoughts. Go to the Brain Dump podcast and learn how to do the brain dump. The brain dump is more important than thought journaling when you want to get a grasp of the patterns of the mind. Through those patterns of the mind, you can then go and work with and heal your core beliefs. Any stuck core beliefs are keeping the thought patterns continuing, keeping the emotions continuing. So you need to go to the podcast on healing core beliefs. Then you need to consider the feelings and emotions that you have trapped in your physical body, and you need to learn how to release those. So go to that podcast, right? I will link them all here on my website, Healing the Planet from Within. Go to my podcast on intergenerational trauma. In the 3rd episode, right, you will see that I have commented and linked all these videos for you, all these podcasts. If I haven't, please make a comment and remind me to do so, because I've got lots going on right now. Okay. Then, you're working with your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions. Find all that. Next, you're going to work with what? What are you working with next? Let's get into the healing now. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. So this is a trance state healing meditation in which we go into a different energetic vibration and work with the energies directly. This is a very, very powerful form of healing that works every single time because it's working directly with the energies of your personal template. And a lot is being healed on this level. All right, so this is really important. Now, before we get into it, it's important that you're comfortable, right? So just make yourself comfortable. Whether you're sitting on your bed, I'm sitting on my bed at the moment. I'm always sitting on my bed doing so many things. This is a productive bed. I'm surprised I can sleep. You can sit on your yoga mat. You can sit on your couch. You can sit on your chair. You can lay down. You can curl in a ball. You can do anything you want for this meditation, okay? Absolutely. It is more beneficial if you're sitting straight with your spine straight. Okay, but let's not worry about that right now. You just make yourself comfortable, okay? So I want you to close your eyes, and we're going to start deepening into this meditation now. And just listening to the sound of my voice and any other sounds you might hear in the background. I'm hearing roosters. It's 8 a.m. in the morning here, and I'm still hearing roosters. And I'm also hearing birds. And what are you hearing around you? Listen to the traffic, listen to the people talking. Just bring your attention to the sounds that you hear around you. Now tune in especially to hearing my voice. And just be aware that you'll be listening to my voice for the rest of this meditation. Nothing else will distract you because we're going to go deeper and deeper. Now bring your attention to how your physical body feels and the surface you are sitting and laying on. Bring awareness of how it feels for your feet to touch the surface. Whether that be the bottom of your feet or your ankles, just be aware of the touch point. Now bring your awareness to the touch point of your buttocks. Where you're sitting or laying, you can just feel that surface there below your buttocks. Now just be aware of your shoulders and the touch point there, where they are touching the chair or the bed or the yoga mat. Just be aware of your shoulders and the touch point, how it feels. Now take a big deep breath. Let's do a deep breath, feeling that air coming into your abdomen. Try and deepen it until your abdomen is expanded. And when you release, just imagine yourself relaxing more deeply. Everything is relaxing more deeply now. And as you're relaxing, just relax with the intention that today you are going to heal intergenerational trauma. It may not be the entirety of it, but you can come to this practice at any point in time, either being guided by my voice or doing it yourself. It's important to learn how to do these guided meditations ourselves. It builds our abilities to become the healer, to do it by ourselves. So practice it on your own. Develop this ability how to heal your intergenerational trauma, your family baggage that's in your energetic matrix. Okay. Just deeply relaxing into this with the full intention of healing now. I want you to call on your higher self and your spirit guides, any angels you're working with or any higher beings. Ask them to come in and support this healing journey, to guide this healing journey for your highest, best interest. And as they come in, I want you to imagine a bright white light surrounding you entirely, giving you peace and protection. Very good. Okay, very good. Now just sit in that white light for a minute. I've got someone outside now trying to sell some vegetables. But just sit in your white light for a minute while you're hearing the sounds around you. The sounds shouldn't distract you. Deepen it with your breath, with your visualization, the white light energy that's going to hold you and protect you through your healing. At any point in time, you can hold this white light around you, whether you're in the shopping mall or whether you're at work. It raises your level of vibration immediately and connects you with your higher source energy. No matter where you are, you can be in this higher state of vibration. Now I want you to bring to mind, and I want you to imagine asking your higher self, your spirit guides, and your ancestors to reveal to you right now what needs to be healed for your highest best interest in this moment, in this healing. And wait in the silence for a moment. The knowledge, the insight, what is given to you. And at first you might not see it very clearly if you're new to this level of work. But just know that if you do this every single day, or at least regularly, it will come to you. You will see it. You will get a vision, a knowing. You will feel what needs to be healed in whatever form it comes to you. You can get images, you can get a feeling, you can get a knowing. And once you have that, it's like, sometimes you can get like a movie playing in front of your mind of what happened. You can go deeply into the emotions of these players, these ancestors who experienced that. And you get a knowing about what baggage and burdens they passed down to you. You get that, you understanding. But sometimes you don't. And that's okay. Because the higher self is going to perform the healing for you. You cannot do it in your mundane mind in a human body. Your higher self is an expanded being, an infinite consciousness. Only she or he or it can do the healing for you. So put that intention there. Get the visual if you get it. If you get nothing, sit with the knowing that this is happening. And give your permission now. Yes, heal my intergenerational trauma patterns. Heal the family lineage baggage and burdens that I'm carrying. That what is being revealed for my highest best interest in this moment, I give you my permission to heal. State that firmly and clearly in your own mind now, in your own words, that you give permission. State it in depth with clarity. State it in depth with clarity. I give permission for healing intergenerational trauma and family lineage baggage and burdens for my highest best interest. What's right for me right now, I give permission. State it with clarity and conviction. And then sit in silence for a moment. Feel the healing occur. Feel it happen to you. Sometimes you might get a feeling that something is being lifted off you, something heavy, a burden. Sometimes you might get a feeling of a whirlwind, a hurricane coming around you, perhaps a suction or a vacuum taking it away. Sometimes you might feel it dropping and going into the earth for rejuvenation, transformation. Sometimes you see it turning into silver energy, transforming. Sometimes you see it being banished from your life, as if it's been evicted from your reality. However you see it or feel it, or even if you don't, just be in the allowance. The acknowledgement like, yes, this is happening right now. I allow, I let go. Feel that, acknowledge it in your mind. When you acknowledge it in your mind, even if you don't feel it, you acknowledge it in your mind, you eliminate any form of resistance. Go into the acknowledgement. Yes, this is happening. This is so great. I'm going to feel so good after this. I can feel myself lifting up. I can feel the energies rising. Confirm this for yourself. You're doing so well. And I'm so proud of you for being on this healing journey, for becoming the healer of your life. You are making a difference not only to yourself, but to the energetic vibration of your family lineage. Any future generations will no longer need to carry this intergenerational trauma, the patterns of this, because you are here right now healing yourself. Absolutely amazing. You are awesome. You are amazing. And I'm grateful that you're here with me right now doing this level of work. So let's give our gratitude now to our higher selves and our spirit guides. just say, thank you for helping me with this healing. Thank you so much. Make sure you are deep in gratitude. And when you go to the depth of gratitude, sometimes you have tears coming out of your eyes. This is normal, and it's acknowledgement. The healing has happened. It has worked. It has shifted for you. Sometimes you cry a little, you sob a little as the energies are being let go out of your body. This is normal. It's something that we can expect and appreciate. This is the releasing from the physical body, this sobbing, and it feels so good. You can feel it so good. Gratitude. Thank you, spirit guides. Thank you, higher self, for helping this healing process. Fantastic. You are doing so well. And now we are ready to come out of the healing phase out of the healing process. We're coming back now to the physical body reality. So bring your attention to how it feels for your feet to touch the surface. That touch point. Bring your awareness how your buttocks feel at that touch point. And bring your awareness to how it feels for your shoulders to touch that point there. That touch point. And bring your awareness now to the sounds around you. First, bring your awareness to the sound of my voice. And then to any other outside noises, such as the traffic, the fridge running, or even your stomach gurgling. Take a big, deep breath. And bring yourself back into the room now. And slowly open your eyes. And just for a moment, bring your awareness to how you feel now. Do you feel any different? Has the healing settled in your physical body yet? How are you feeling in this moment? Does it feel good? It feels different, that's for sure. After an energy healing, it feels different, 100%. You're going to feel a bit spacey. You're going to feel maybe a bit tired. Some people just lay down and rest for half an hour or an hour. Some people feel like they just need to cry for some time. Some people feel like they need to laugh. This is all part of the healing process. Whatever you feel like doing in this moment, just flow with it, go along with it, and understand. And at any point in time, you can listen to this podcast episode again, because you're in training to become the healer. But eventually, I would like you to be able to do this healing for yourself without listening to my voice. This is really important to develop that ability. But for now, here we are at the end of our podcast, at the end of our podcast series of intergenerational trauma. And we did it. And you can do it because you can do it daily or weekly. I wouldn't suggest daily. It's a lot of healing layers. But I would recommend at least once a week for the month. Go into and listen to this healing session. One, to increase your knowledge of how to do it, but also because there's a lot of layers of intergenerational trauma. And because you can develop that ability to see what your higher self is showing, what needs to heal. The more you do it, you develop that ability to get the visual and the knowing and the sight. The more you do it, you develop this ability. And then it takes us your healing abilities to a completely different level. Everyone around the world can do this work. Everyone around the world. It's just a matter of knowing the tools and techniques and how to do it. So here you go. Here's one. I am super grateful that you are here with me on this journey. I am feeling very blessed to spend time with you today in this presence, in this healing space. feeling very, very blessed. And yeah, I just want to give you my deepest gratitude. And yeah. And again, I'm going to encourage you to please subscribe, share this podcast episode on your social media, or share the podcast on your social media and let other people know that it's out there. Become the healer. And my website is Healing the Planet from Within. So please go over there and give your thanks on this podcast episode as well. I would love to know that this made a difference to your life, that you're enjoying this podcast. So please let me know. That makes a world of difference to me. So, okay, this is the podcast ending. So I wish you many blessings for your day. Thank you for listening to my podcast, Become the Healer. I'm super grateful to have you as part of this community. You are awesome. And before we go, I want to remind you about 2 exciting things that you don't want to miss out on. First and foremost, if you haven't already, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. By doing so, you'll never miss out on one of these juicy good episodes and even stay up to date with upcoming events. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on a single moment of what's coming up. But wait, there's more. Also, head over to my YouTube channel called Healing the Planet from Within and also hit that subscribe button. That way you can enjoy all the fantastic content, including traveling to sacred places and fun behind the scenes moments. Subscribing is super easy. It takes 1 click and would mean the world to me. So go ahead and make sure you're part of this incredible community, both on my podcast and YouTube channel. And finally, wander over to my website, Healing the Planet from Within, and become part of our healing community by downloading the worksheets and making inspiring comments on the podcast episodes. It's super, super great to have you with us in this community. Thank you so much for joining me on this amazing journey. Your support means the world to me because this is truly my biggest passion in life. I look forward to connecting with you on another episode or even in person.